podcast with me, your host, Krystal Colley, also known as the most famous woman in the world. So today I want to apologize first and foremost for the less than my best audio on this. I'm actually recording this on my phone because I have been experiencing multiple technical difficulties and also multiple life technical difficulties. And so I did something that, full disclosure, I told myself I was not going to do, which is I told myself that I was going to definitely never, ever miss a day for this podcast. But guess what? I already have done that. And so this episode is going to be exactly about what I'm thinking right now, which is to not allow technical difficulties to continue to sabotage whatever project you're working on. Sometimes things will not be up to your 100% standard, but what I like to remember is that 90% is still an A. So if you've ever been in school, you probably know that you don't have to get 100% in order to get an A, right? So I remember I used to be often stumped and stopped by little things like, for example, I often take my little podcast. Basically, I have a lavalier mic, and so I'll just take that with me if I know that I don't have enough time during the day to actually sit down. I'll just take that with me. And sometimes I'll even be making notes about the podcast during the day and working on the outline for the podcast during the day. And then by the evening, usually my goal is to have that all finished. And then, I record it according to the outline and edit it, and it's done by that evening. So every day, prep, planned, recorded, and edited and posted. But for example, I lost my SD card and SD card reader because I threw them in my bag, and I believe that may have dumped out on the floor somewhere of a car, and I looked for it, couldn't find it. I actually did something which I usually don't do, which is I basically subconsciously told myself that I was going to record the podcast just on the phone and just get it out. And then somehow, because I broke my routine, somehow my brain had a glitch, and I forgot to do one day of the podcast. Then I went and ordered another SD card and SD card reader. Thought it was going to arrive the next morning, and instead I looked and my debit card was declined, and I had to go back and forth with it's actually a local-ish credit union, and that's probably why that was happening. But not to get into the extremely boring details of that, but basically this debit card from this small little credit union just doesn't work online. Like, I literally can't buy anything online, and I've been on the phone with them for days to a point where I had to do Zen today to not get super pissed off about the fact that my debit card just simply will not work on Amazon. It won't work on any e-commerce. I can't buy anything, and I've been calling this stupid credit union and their fraud department and every department to try to get my debit card working, and nothing is working. So I'm literally going to go there tomorrow and close my bank account. But anyways, so that was day 2 of me not having my nice podcast set up. This whole conundrum now is ongoing. So I just ordered another SD card and card reader, and now the SD card that I just got today in order to finish this whole episode that I've been trying to finish is incompatible with my lavalier mic. So on and on this has been going now for days, and it's just getting completely crazy. So that is a very, very long-winded way to say, and I apologize for all of that, but I just want all of us to see that this crap happens to literally everyone. It happens. It's just, I don't know. I don't believe in Mercury retrograde, but who knows? Maybe that's what's happening. But the whole point is, at a certain point, you have to just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to do it. And actually, that's a term and book from Richard Branson, right? So screw it, just do it. Even if it's not perfect, even if you could do better, even if whatever, just get it done, get whatever thing you told yourself you were going to do done, even if it's behind schedule, even if it's a little bit messed up, even if it's not perfect. Because most of the time, the most important thing with whatever project you're doing is not whether or not it's exactly perfect, but whether or not your work ethic in that area is consistent. And so if you're showing up every single day and ticking off your tasks as best as you possibly can for that day, that is going to move you way farther ahead than not doing anything at all because you don't have the right mic or you don't have the right camera, or it's not going to be perfectly according to how you envision it. So that is what I want to get out for this podcast. It's going to be super short. And also I was really, because of this, I was really thinking over the last couple hours today that sometimes you have to play by your own rules. And yes, certain things in my life I've been extremely dedicated and extremely consistent with, and did not miss one day of what I said I was going to do. I do that often with classes and things like that. But sometimes I'm not perfect. And so my personal rules and the way I do things and the way that I think of things, I've noticed are very different than a lot of other, I guess, advice givers out there in the world. And I think that's because I come from, I think more realistically. And to me, in my mind, I just believe that not every single thing that you do is going to be exactly perfect. If it is, that's great. But I think we can all agree that not everything is going to be perfect. Sometimes you might say, I'm going to do XYZ every single day for the next 12 months. You might miss a day. That's pretty, that seems pretty logical. I think a lot of these, like gurus in this type of space, I feel like they often set goals and standards that are so astronomically impossible for the vast majority of human beings that we don't even try to even start on whatever it is, because we think to ourselves, oh, well, I couldn't possibly work out every single day for the next year, because what if I miss a day, or what, or you start and you miss a day and then you quit the whole thing. Or you start a podcast and you say you're going to do it every single day and then you miss a day and then you get mad at yourself, or you feel like you're not good enough, or whatever thing is going on in your head, and then you could just completely stop. And so a long time ago, I told myself, hey, look, 90% is an A. I don't think anyone can get mad at you if you're giving an A effort in everything you do. If you're giving an A effort in everything you do, you're going to be just fine. Yeah, would in a perfect world, would I love to give 99, to make every outcome 99% or 100% and be a robot and do every single thing perfectly and never miss even 1 hour of what? Of course. But is that really realistic? I mean, is it? So give yourself a little wiggle room. Remember that 90% is an A. And again, visit our website at millionairementormethod.com. I'm building an amazing community of mentors and mentees, which you can find the matchmaking forum there. You can post stuff there. And I'm creating our overview of the course. And I have a couple of free tools on there as well that I actually use every day. And just as an aside on what those free tools are, it's actually my own personal daily schedule that I use. And I uploaded the monthly goals tracker. And what else? Oh my gosh. Wow. See, 90%. My brain is blanking, but that's okay. I've had a very long day. I love you all. Join the community, millionairementormethod.com. And remember, each one teach one.
The information provided in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice, investment advice, or medical advice. The host is not a financial advisor nor a medical doctor or licensed therapist. Any financial or medical decisions made based on the information in this podcast are made at the listener's own risk. It is recommended that listeners consult with licensed professionals such as CPAs, financial advisors, and licensed physicians before making any investment or medical decisions. The host and creators of this podcast accept no responsibility or liability for any loss or damages incurred as a result of the information provided in this podcast.